Hi there guys, and welcome again to another Red Gaming Tech video. Today I'm having a look at a rather interesting game by the name of Proteus. It's a very weird and wonderful experience, but before we get into the actual game, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It was developed by Ed Key and David Kanaga and was published by Twisted Tree. It's currently on Steam for $6.99. And the options menu is, well, basic to say the least, but it will make sense once you see the game itself. It doesn't really need a complex graphics options menu, to be honest. So let's just start the game, shall we? It's a really odd game, and you're going to see what I mean when it loads, because it kind of puts me in a similar feeling of Dear Esther, in that there's not really much interaction in the game. It's more about exploration, but you'll see for yourself momentarily, just waiting for the island to generate, as this game does do a randomly generated island each time you play, so you're not going to have the same experience as me or someone else who's played the game. There we go. As you can see, I've spawned in the middle of the sea, so let's do the logical thing and avoid that one singular rain cloud. Head towards this lovely island here. You've probably already noticed the rather unusual graphic style of this game, and personally I think the graphic style is awesome. I love it. It's very pastel-y. It puts me in the frame of mind of looking at a painting or something like that. Bright and vibrant, and the soundtrack as well. If you listen for a second, pretty awesome. And as you'll see in a moment, it does change based on what you come across. So, for example, if I was to, there you go. So yeah, I mean, that's the main thing of the game, really. It's more about exploration and curiosity than anything else. The world they have created is beautiful, as you can see. I don't think anyone can really argue with that. And it's an interesting game. I like it. I love the graphic style. I love the music. And I love the feeling that it invokes in me as well. And I think this feeling is going to be similar for most people as well. Just so peaceful and calm, and kind of gives this feeling of zen. I'm just kind of wandering through this beautiful pastel painting world, listening to this weird ethereal music and just enjoying my surroundings. Some people won't find that particularly interesting, and I can't really blame them, especially for the price of $6.99. Well, that's not exactly expensive by any stretch, at least not in my opinion. Some people will still be put off simply because a lot of people criticise Dear Esther for having literally no interaction at all. Some loved it, some hated it. And I think the people that hated that are going to hate this, because this has even less interaction than Dear Esther. I mean, as you can see, I'm not even getting any narration or anything. The only changes in the world are the soundtrack, as I'll show you in a minute. Please shut up for a second, I'll show you. As you can see, based on what you interact with, the soundtrack will give you new elements and change a little based on what you're interacting with and stuff like that. Like if I go and annoy these chickens over here. mean, that put quite a smile on my face. No argument there, and it pretty much captured the movement of the chickens quite perfectly there with the sound that they made. But I don't think this is a game for everyone by any stretch of the imagination. I think a lot of people are going to be like, it's not really a game. And to be honest, I can't really argue with that because I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I'm enjoying the interesting world and the music and everything else, but I normally wouldn't really touch this kind of game with a 10-foot barge pole because it's not really a game. It's more of a zen environmental exploration piece. It's like an interactive painting, basically, is what it comes down to. That's the kind of feeling it gives to me. And some people are going to love it, and that's fine, but I think some people are also going to hate it with a fiery passion, and I can't really blame them, because this stretches the meaning of the word game to its very limits. It's more of an interactive experience, with the interactiveness stripped down to basically nothing more than pressing W to move and using the mouse to look around. There's not even an interact or use key. That kind of gives you a clue as to how much interaction there is in this game. I mean, at least in Dear Esther, there was the occasional voice narration and things like that, giving you some kind of background into the story of not only the world, but also the character, what he was doing there, that sort of thing. I mean, I don't even get the feeling from this game that there is a human character. Ooh, these things are a bit weird, aren't they? I mean, I'm not having any footsteps or anything like that, for example, and I'm kind of gliding. I'm just sort of a camera floating about eye level. That's the feeling that I get. And for some people, this interesting and amazing world that they've made is going to be enough, and it's fine. What they've set out to do, they've done beautifully. They wanted to invoke a sense of curiosity and encourage the player to want to explore this world, see what else there is, see what other cool sounds that it can make, see this weird and wonderful place that they found themselves in, and they've executed that beautifully. Even if you don't like this game, even if it's not for you, you can't really argue that they have achieved what they set out to do. Excuse me, throat's a little bit dry. Pretty much perfectly. So, if you're the kind of person who liked Dear Esther, you'll probably love this game because, well, look at it. It's that kind of experience again, except I would say that this achieves more interest and exploration in me than Dear Esther ever did. But that's just because the music is so cool and the world is so cool, and you get these little funny sound effects, and it does make me want to explore more. It has achieved that, at least, and Dear Esther didn't really ever do that for me. So maybe give it a go if you're looking for something interesting. I mean, you can't really say that this is like any other game out there, because it's not. I mean, it reminds me of several things. It reminds me a little of Okami, with the bright, pastel-y look to everything. Not that Okami was pastel-y, but the brightness and the vibrancy to this world does kind of remind me a bit of Okami, and the kind of world that game created, because that was a very beautiful world as well. But it also kind of reminds me of a film, Studio Ghibli film by the name of Princess Mononoke. I'm sure many of you guys out there have seen it and will immediately be like, yeah, you're right. Because it has that same kind of ethereal, mysterious feeling that a Ghibli film usually has when the characters go into their usual strange and fantastical worlds. That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting here. And that's something to be proud of. To invoke the feeling of a Ghibli film is interesting, to say the least, without any characters or any interaction or even any story of any description. It's quite an achievement, and they definitely deserve props for that. I mean, it's just not really my kind of thing, to be honest. Sorry guys, I completely forgot to turn my phone off silent. I'm really, really sorry. Just give me a minute. There we go. Sorry about that. I usually do remember to, but hey ho, I'm only human at the end of the day. Ooh. See, look at this. Just want to enjoy and soak up the music and the vibe, basically. And just listen for a second. Yes, they've definitely achieved what they set out to do, if you ask me. No doubt about it. I mean, wow. Guys, this game is not really for me, but it's definitely achieved what it set out to do, and I'm enjoying my time with it. I just normally wouldn't have touched this game, to be honest. I would have been immediately put off by its lack of interaction, the fact that it's not really a game, but you can say this for it. It's a beautiful, mysterious, and ethereal experience. And if this is the kind of thing you're looking for right now, a peaceful, zen exploration piece where the very island and world itself just draws you in and makes you want to see more, then I don't think you need to look any further, because they've executed that brilliantly. And I think the people who liked Dear Esther are going to love the hell out of Proteus. So guys, I think that's me done for this video. I know it's been a little bit of a short one, but there's not really much else to say about this game. I think I've pretty much said everything and shown you everything that you need to see. You're going to have immediately known within 5 minutes if you wanted to buy this game or not. So I'm just going to leave you with my final words. This is a very interesting, one-of-a-kind experience. And if you're into this kind of thing, check it out. If not, I wouldn't if I were you. But if you're into something, wanted something to try a little different, then go for it, because this is definitely that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you again next time.